So before I even get to see the Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, I've got a money problem. I can't stop thinking about the math behind what it takes to get a movie in the theaters in the first place. And as Matt Damon explained to us, let's say you have a budget of $50 million, you make the movie for $50 million, you need $50 million to market it, that's $100 million, but then you split the ticket sales with the theaters, so that's $200 million before you break even and start to make a profit. It's crazy, but that's the system, right? So here's Christopher Nolan's numbers for the Odyssey. It cost $250 million to make. They put $125 million into the marketing. That's $375 million, which is actually probably lower than they might normally do it. And then the split with the tickets, right, 50-50. So they would need to make an estimated $625 million to $750 million worldwide to break even. Now, perhaps it's a little bit like stock markets and whatever, EDFs or whatever. Like, if you have a lot of money, it takes a little bit of movement to make a lot of money, right? So you have, say, 10,000 shares in a stock that's $10. Okay, well, that's $100,000 you spent. And if it slides a little bit up and becomes $10.31 a share, well, you just made yourself $31,000 or whatever it is. So if Christopher Nolan's movie does hit this mark and goes a little bit over, they're looking at making possibly 100 million, 200 million, whatever it is. Now, let's just look at some of his past works. So the biggest money-wise that he's made, and it's gross to talk about money, but I'm just on my mind. Dark Knight Rises made over $1 billion, Dark Knight $1 billion. Oppenheimer basically made $1 billion, it was a little bit under. Inception was pretty close, so was Interstellar. So clearly he can do it. I mean, in 5 of his top 10 movies, he would, on this scale, let's say, they need $750 million to make their money back. He would hit that mark for 5 of his top 10 films, which is crazy. But my question is, why is it like this? I don't understand. There aren't many people, of course, who get the green light for this. What's Christopher Nolan? Maybe Steven Spielberg? Maybe Tarantino? I don't know. What other living composer or directors? Maybe people who direct Marvel Universe stuff. He feels like more of a community than one director, because you can kind of interchange that and still make the movie. But in terms of personalities or people who could actually get to where a studio is going to need to make $750 million to get their money back, I mean, it's 1 out of 1 trillion people or however many. And this is not news, right? We all know this. But the money is staggering. I can't help but think about it as I'm getting ready to go see the Odyssey this week. I can't stop thinking about all that went into it. Is it going to affect how I see the movie? No, because I'm either going to see a great movie or I'm not. And I'm not going to give it any sort of leeway, because I think the CGI or the use of puppets or whatever it is cool. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Or if the performances are bad, they're bad. I don't really care what they were paid. If I'm not inspired by it, then I'm not going to be inspired by it, and I'll give it a terrible rating. Where we've gone in terms of like how money is factoring into the art here. I mean, if the art, let's just call film art, a film, a painting, a sculpture, a poem, whatever it is, a book, the meaning of it is, I think, itself, right? It's got all these things projected onto it that went into the process of making it, but the artwork is itself. And if that's the case, or even if it's not the case, it doesn't give a shit how much it cost to make itself. I mean, look at I've got a list here of all the movies that were low budget, and I'm going to read some of them to you. They were low budget, but they were smash success. I realize there's a little bit of inflation here. Let me read a few of them for you. Blair Witch cost $60,000 to make, made $250 million worldwide. Mad Max, $350,000 to make, $100 million worldwide. Rocky was $1 million to make, $225 million. Friday the 13th was $550,000 to make, $59 million made worldwide. Moonlight, which won the Oscar, I believe, right? $1.5 million to make and made $65 million worldwide. Little Miss Sunshine, $8 million to make, $100 million worldwide. So my point is that it can be done. You don't have to have a big budget to make a great movie, right? And even to use Christopher Nolan as his repertoire as an example, I believe his first film, Following, which I think is a fantastic film, I think it cost or made like $270,000, something like that. insane. I mean, it's a great movie. It's his first movie, by the way. You watch this movie and you just think, wow. Even before the stuff that came after it happened, I don't remember watching it at the time. I went back and watched it afterwards, but I would imagine people probably watched this and thought, I'd give this guy $750 million to make a movie. But I also can't stop thinking about how the money gets into the mix in general. Like, we got to sit there for what are the ads going to be like when I see the Odyssey this week? How long do I have to sit there? 30 minutes? 45 minutes? It's insane. It never ends. I mean, I'm going to talk about this in another video, but I started watching The Bear finally. I always wait until it's almost over or it's over before I catch up on things. And I'm watching it on Disney. And it's like each episode's 28 minutes, and I'm watching at least 3 ads, maybe 4 ads, like breaks. That's 2 or 3 minutes each time. I mean, come on, what does it have to do with the story? I get it. I know what you're saying. You're typing it right now. That the commercials are the content or the story, and the story or what's being created is actually just kind of extra, I guess. But not to me. And I'm watching this thinking, I don't know if I can go through this, because think about how much time it is to add 8 minutes for every episode. I mean, that's like over 2 episodes at least per season. It's insane. And so it's got me thinking about how much I think indie films will never go away, right? Particularly short films. I know short films, you look up online and a lot of people are saying like, oh, you don't want to do that. You just want to go straight in. Shorts are dead, whatever. No, they're not. Have you ever seen the one by the Duplass brothers? This is John. Fantastic. Roy with the guy who played Filch from Harry Potter. Fantastic short film. The Neighbor's Window. Stutterer. Charlie Kaufman's 28-minute short film. Amazing. And you can catch a lot of these on Canopy, which is free. They're not a sponsor. Criterion, which is not free, but they don't have ads, not a sponsor. And they're just fantastic movies. There's nothing grosser than pausing a story or an emotion to sell me shoes or Taco Bell or whatever the fuck it is. It's just gross. So I bring this all up to say that this is on my mind when I'm thinking about the budget of the Odyssey as I get ready to go and see it, because I'm getting mixed reviews from some people. Some friends in my life that I respect, they didn't like it. Some of them, actually I haven't heard of anybody who's seen it who says they love it yet, but I have seen people online that I respect who love it. So there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna have to march in there. I feel bad, they need $750 million. Maybe I should bring a can of soup or something, or like pay 3 times for the same ticket. I don't know. I want to help him out. This poor guy over here, Chris Nolan. He owes the studio $750 million or whatever. Not him alone, but and I don't really want to get into like the actors and what they were paid. They're paid what they're paid. I don't blame them. If you're, it's kind of like tax breaks. If they're going to give them, why wouldn't you take them? They're going to offer you $50 million to do a picture as a lead. Just do it. There aren't that many people that can pull it off. We'll see if it actually happens. And I don't know. Yeah, so I'm trying to get this out of my head. I realize it's not a new topic. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. Some of the movies. What are some movies that I've missed in terms of low budget, high impact on society? I mean, we'll say like high impact in terms of the numbers, like, Obsession and Backrooms obviously is a more modern example of this, which is great. I think it's great. I think you're going to start seeing lots of things like that happen. YouTube's kind of the filtering system for finding good short films on YouTube is not strong. I'd say 99% of what I click on is rubbish. Vimeo used to be different. I don't know what happened to Vimeo. They blew up. They're still around, but I don't know what it is. They used to be fantastic for short films and indie films. I think that's going to come back. Clerks was the same way. Speaking of short films, independent films in the 90s. As a Gen Xer, one of the last Gen Xers to get on the Gen X boat, it was huge, right? You remember, if you were that age or older, you remember. And I think that's going to come back around, because you can't keep funding projects where you need to make $750 million to get your fucking money back. I mean, it's not even debatable, right? I mean, it's just, I guess if you're going to make 850, you could make the argument, well, we did it. You made $100 million. Yeah, you did, but I mean, the risk involved in that is so high. And it's hard to imagine the Odyssey won't be a good movie. I'm sure it will. Let me know what you think if you've seen it. Don't tell me you can tell me what happens because it's one of the oldest stories ever, but feel free to speak. I don't care if you spoil it or not. I won't, if I see it, I'll just stop reading if it looks like it's getting too detailed. But I want to know what you think. What did you think of the Odyssey? What do you think of this system here? Come on. And if you have any short films that you think also deserve to be on the list of great short films that everyone should be watching, or low budget films that had a high impact, let me know. The Odyssey, I'll see it this week, and then I'll get back to you. All right.